Nick Castellanos was taken out of a close game yesterday versus Atlanta, and after the contest, was asked a couple leading questions by Philadelphia reporters. First, if it was hard adjusting to a role where he's not the every-inning right fielder, to which he responded, yes, in a semi-aggravated tone. He would then go on to be asked if he was frustrated that even though he apparently has been seeing improvements in the outfield, he's still getting pulled, which would elicit the same response.
Yes.
Important context here as well is the fact that this is after a win. Now, I know that some people might not consider this to be complaining per se, but in my opinion, with the kind of media landscape in Philadelphia, this is as close to a direct statement of frustration as you'll ever see, barring just blatant honesty. What's more, this is the second time this season that there's been some controversy over him getting pulled. I want to say first while addressing this that I understand these are major league players we're talking about here, who are highly competitive, and to Nick's credit, he had made a good play earlier on in the contest when he threw out Matt Olson at the plate. But one highlight doesn't make up for what has been now years of defensive ineptitude that hasn't really gotten much better season to season, as in his career so far he has been by far, and I do mean far, the worst defensive player in baseball, including registering a negative 91 fielding run value, almost doubly as bad as the next player on the list, being his teammate Kyle Schwarber, and negative 138 defensive runs saved. And this year is no different, as he currently is last among all MLB players in FRV at negative 13. The only real positive angle you can take here is the fact that his negative 13 DRS is only fourth worst in the sport. All this is to say that him being replaced late in the contest by pretty much anybody would be beneficial, but especially so when the player coming in for him is Harrison Bader, a guy with an 87th percentile fielding run value of 6. Certifiably elite. And it's not like Castellanos is being defended by the Philadelphia fan base either, with quite a few coming out of the woodwork to express frustration with him on Twitter. When you have people who are supposed to be on your side rallying against your complaints, you know something's a little off. One last point I want to make here is that in a one-run game, the only real downside to taking Nick out would be that you'd lose his bat potentially if the contest ends up getting tied up. But considering that he's only rocking an OPS of exactly 700 this year in comparison to Bader's 800, there's an argument to be made that Philadelphia was actually upgrading its offensive potential as well with this move. I think one factor at play here is that since Nick is being paid like a borderline elite regular at $20 million a year, it's easy to forget that he has just a 734 OPS since he came to Philadelphia, and exactly 1.1 WAR, which is less than he managed to post in 1/3 of a season with the Chicago Cubs back in 2019. So yeah, seeing him feed into negative leading questions over this move by his manager certainly seems a bit tone-deaf overall. Alright everybody, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching, and if you did, consider checking out any of these other videos on your screen right now for other content just like this. Also, if you ever see anything you'd like to see me detail in the video, feel free to reach out to my email, basebpoet@gmail.com, and if I end up using your idea, I'll give you a shout out. Thanks for watching, have a great rest of your day.